Yeah, how you doing? It's Scooter the Truth. Said Money Commission President. This is Take It to the Streets. I'll let my guest introduce herself.
Hey, how you doing? Kamal Wells, um, founder of Men Against Gun Violence.
Yeah. Now, I mean, usually you ain't gotta ask too much, with your statements. Man against gun violence. That basically explains itself. Basically, what do you be doing for the community? What you be doing basically on a day-to-day basis.
Well, I'm giving you a little history on it. Um, on September 22nd, young man from Eastern High School, Tyree Smith, was killed standing on the bus stop. Two other kids got shot. While waiting on the bus stop, same morning, same spot. So um, when I get the notification on my phone, I look at it and I just felt like, hold on, this is going too far. It's too much, And I'm all day long. I'm hearing people talk about, oh, they need to stop this gun culture. I mean, this gang culture. It's the gang members. It's this and it's that. And I feel like, um, no, it's not just that. You know what I mean? Because uh, gang culture is part of America. Period. It's been that way since before we was born and before, So, um, but if you go back to the roots of the gangs that are currently existing, you know, um, I'm gonna say Crip, Bloods. Let's go back to the basis of these. Okay, these are organization gangs, whatever you want to call them, that were established to protect our community.
Right.
Okay, so I'm like, throughout the course of that day, we need to get back to the basics, you know, and what that looks like to me, you know, and to a lot of people, let's go back to the foundation of building and protecting our community, protect our children. So I had a press conference at 22nd. Well, David D. Hodge and Chestnut. I said, I just asked for 50 men, and some guy stepped up and was like, "Yeah, I'm with it." To protect our kids, to stop the shootings at the bus stop. Yeah.
Right.
So I asked for 50 men to stand with me in the mornings at the bus stops, to be present and be vigilant, and to protect these kids. So they shouldn't have to be terrified or experience more trauma, emotional, mental trauma, while sitting on a bus stop waiting to go get their education.
Right. Because I'm back in school. It wasn't no drive-bys at the bus stop.
Yeah.
I mean, not here at
Right.
least. It might be in some bigger cities, but I love what you said. Because the gang culture, like people don't understand it's like tribe culture. But it's to a point about the morals and what you push.
Right.
As a tribe. Because back in the days, the gang culture. Yes, it was against the people. To protect our people, and our people ain't just what people of color. That's what people's not even understanding.
Big facts.
Our people are who we clarify as us, and we don't clarify us as us by what we do. What they do clarifies them as them, because everybody like I said, I was one of the men that came down there with you. You know what I'm saying? Crazy things happen. I didn't even know I was gonna be talking to you. You know what I'm saying? But the way things happen, everything happens for a reason. And the way I look at it is, even though everything's going bad, it's a reason for it. We got to bring the tribes back. We got to bring everything back. And the gang culture, that's not the problem. It's to a point about what we doing as a whole. And it's basically how you want to put it, just the tribe, just the neighborhood, just the current more.
Right. And see, like, not to cut you off, but like my wife, right? She she works for Play Cousin. She owns Black Market. She's one of the owners of Black Market, KY. which is a black-owned grocery store that sells all black-owned products, right? But she also works with Play Cousins and Mazizis, okay? But the thing is with that, they call it the village. And that's the women working to help better the communities, right? And a lot of women always say, well, I can help, I can get involved, I can be involved. And no offense to no female, no woman, right?
Right.
I'm not a sexist. I understand me. But this is a crucial and a critical time for us as black men, as black families living in a black community, where we constantly are burying children. You understand me? So it's like, no, I don't need the woman. The woman's always gonna be there. I get that. But I'm asking for the men. You understand me? You're a man. I don't care where you from. I don't care what set you from. I don't care about none of that. But if you're a man, if you have children, you can raise some children. You know what I mean?
Right.
You should have some type of compassion still in your heart and say, "Hey, man, I'm tired of seeing these kids die too." Don't wait until it's too late, until it's your child. You know what I mean? And to say, "Hey, this is crazy. This got to stop." Right. No, we're gonna get out there as men, like, and men step up.
Yeah. Step
up, be a man. Like, yo, men are the protectors of the family.
Right.
You know, back to Africa, men were the protectors of the tribe. Okay, so fast forward 2022, we still genetically created to be protectors and providers of our families.
Right.
You understand me? We can't get away from it. That's something you can never escape. That's an identity that's always going to be with a man. Okay? So with that being said, that's all I'm asking. Something simple and basic. Just come out, stand with us, you know, and protect these babies at these bus stops in the mornings. Right. They shouldn't have to, like I said, shouldn't have to be scared or worried about if they got a problem. Are they going to retaliate while they standing on the bus stop and vulnerable in the dark, in the cover of darkness early in the morning?
Yeah, but it's even with that going on, it's like at least 1 or 2 guns found at the schools every day, like at high schools, middle schools, right? You know, and it's I done talked to a whole bunch of little youngins, you know, and it's if they look at it like, I mean, I gotta go to school, but you know, I gotta take the school bus, you know, but they feel like they not protected, you know. Right. And I remember being a youngin, you know, I remember being young out here, and everybody got something to say about gang coach and all that, but that was the protection that you had, you know, just people that cared about you. But they don't stir you away from doing the dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to let you sit up and do the dumb, because you got to bring that back home, you know. And bringing that back home is what's instilled by these females, you know, your mothers, your aunties, because, you know, they always say, you know, the father can go out there and do whatever, you know, lay his bone, do whatever, you know, but we got to talk about mothers. We got to bring it back home. And what people don't understand is, you live your life, and if you live her and you still live her, you gonna be out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I meet people that I done had been in kindergarten with, and, you know, like, I love them to death, you know, and you tend to grow. You're able to see people grow and develop, you know, and these youngins, they ain't even seeing people through their wild stages.
Right,
you know? Right. They going through their wild stages right now, and
getting stuck in it.
Just stuck.
Getting stuck in their wild stage.
Yeah. Like, everybody has that wild stage. That's what they don't understand, like, wild stages.
You gotta let it go.
Yeah, you got to.
You know, I remember, I even now, right? Like, back in the Gap, I had my security company and everything. This years and years ago, right? And I had all the problematic clubs. All the problematic clubs. I'm talking about all the clubs where the shootings and the fightings was going on, and a million police runs out there to the you know, and
now, was that by choice or was that given to you?
No, those were the ones I chose, because, like, those are the ones that meant something to me, because this is in our environment, that's where we were. You know what I mean? So I had contracts with like Big L's, Club X.
Well, we were.
You know
what I mean?
And
I had contracts with like Big
yeah, it's all good. I had to joke that they kind of threw me off just a little bit, but it's all good. But the thing is, like, I was able to help get those clubs under control for the simple fact people knew who I was outside of the club.
Right.
So if I'm at work and you know, we eating, but we working.
Mm-hmm.
If I approach someone and say, hey, put your flag up for a second. You know, we just have fun tonight.
Right.
Put your flag up. Okay, because also I don't want the other side to feel like I'm gonna rock mine because they got theirs. Mm-hmm. So when I'm about to go have them put theirs up. Okay, so now we're not flying old flags. You know what I'm saying? The only problem we had back then was the fact that Lil Jon had 1 million songs about tear the club up. You know what I mean? A-Cast was ready to tear the club up on the back of it, right?
That's the thing about it now. Back in our days, yeah, it was all type of 3-6 Mafia. You know, the music to fight in clubs.
Right.
Music now is to shoot. Music now is to shoot.
And that's the problem.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the problem because once you pull that trigger, ain't no coming back.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of the youngers, they respecting people that's locked up and dead. You know, and I ain't saying nothing wrong with that, but y'all respecting people that ain't even made it out their wild stage. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
My proudest accomplishments was nothing that I was doing in my wild stage. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, Demons Hunt, you know, and without them hunting me, I'd probably be a way better person. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I remember when I was young, right? My mother, she used to always tell us, boy, reputation and shit to have. Right? You heard it too, right?
Yeah.
Everybody done heard this, right? But you don't hear mothers tell their kids these days, right? So it's like these young cats is out here trying to build a reputation that you can't take me.
Right.
You can't take what I have and you can't take me. So as they build this image of this, right? It's no more of a you can't whoop me.
Right.
It's like you can't take me. So everybody have taken on this, I'm tougher than tough, or I kill, or I shoot. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Opposed to, hey, let's sit down and figure out what this is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no need in us keep every time we see each other at the club, or we see each other out in traffic, I gotta grab my heat, and you gotta grab yours, and we're gonna figure out who's gonna bust first. Mm-hmm. Or let me go ahead and bust on you before you even get a chance to bust on me. No, it don't even, because one thing I learned during my travels, I'm gonna say that, right, is every issue is not a cause. Right?
Yeah.
Now, when I grew up, my OGs used to tell me, say, grounds to fight is grounds to kill. So I sat back and thinking about it, right? But a fight's a fight. No. Because it's a thing called automatism. Mm-hmm. Automatism is your animal instinct kicking in. Okay? So if a dog fights a dog, he's not fighting the dog to try to get him off of him. He's fighting to kill it, to eliminate the threat. Okay? We can't, so we can't fight each other, right? And think that it's not that we're not fighting to death.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, when you fighting for your life,
when you're fighting for your life. Yeah. So therefore, grounds to fight, in their essence, is grounds to kill. Because when you fight, it's because you fighting for your life. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, like, for one, nowadays, this right here doesn't have an emotion. Mm-hmm. A trigger doesn't have an emotion. A gun has no emotion, no feelings. It's a machine. It does what it do. Mm-hmm. You pull the trigger, it busts, and consequences, right? Mm-hmm. Grounds to fight, grounds to kill. every issue is not a cause. An issue can be resolved. A cause is something you gotta go in on.
Yeah.
Okay, we understand that.
Right.
But the demonstration is these kids is out here making issues causes, and they're not trying to fight because they don't have emotions. They're desensitized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't.
And they're dealing with a lot of mental trauma, emotional trauma, because they're not giving themselves time to heal before the next body even gets cold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The body's still warm and it's another one dropping.
Yeah.
So they're not allowing themselves to grieve, to rationally think before something else transpires. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
So, to bring it all in, right? If you take the time to sit back, to talk to these kids, to sit back, talk to them, and give them a chance to vent, to breathe, right? Without the pressure. Okay? Then oftentimes a lot of issues can be resolved peacefully. I remember 20 plus years ago, it was a guy in the East End. I ain't gonna put his name out there, rest in peace. But we had what we thought was on site phone. You know what I mean? And I was coming from Indiana. They had a liquor store over in Shepherd Square. I was coming from Indiana over the bridge, and we stopped in the East End. We got expressway right there, and went to the liquor store. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I don't want to be up here. We could have went to another liquor store. We up in there. All right, cool. I wasn't driving.
Yeah.
So we go in there, and I got my hood on. This guy walks in. He's with his daughter. I hear his voice. I look at him. And I'm thinking, right, this is the funk that we got. Mm-hmm. Right? And what caught me, I didn't see him when he came in, but he has that voice.
Right, like us.
So he has like a raspy voice, right? So I heard his daughter say, "Daddy, can I have that?" No, I can't remember what it was. It might have been some Grippos or some Navigators or something, I don't know. But when he spoke, said, "Yeah, you can get it." Hold on. So I looked up, I see him, I'm like, oh. Put my head down. Element of surprise, right? He's coming out. I lift up, look at him. He looked down. First thing in his mind, my daughter. Mm-hmm. Everything that me and him, all the little beef that me and him had, the first thing in his mind is my daughter.
Mm-hmm. Not none of the past bullshit.
Okay.
It's like my daughter.
So I see him look at his daughter. I'll pass. A couple days later, neutral territory. He's with his whole squad, right? Mm-hmm. I'm slipping. Here I lay, right? One of them type. Pass. I see him again later, years later. He took a shahada. He's Muslim. He's on his deen. Now we talking. The situation we in, individually, it's messed up, right? Mm-hmm. But as we talk about the conflict that we had between us, right? We realized that it wasn't even really nothing. Yes,
that's what these youngers gotta understand.
And that's what they gotta understand.
They gotta understand.
Because if they don't understand, every issue is not a cause. At the moment, you think this is do or die. But it's not that. Mm-hmm. 98% of the time, it's not that.
Yeah, because a lot of them be in the situation like, all right, like, just for reference, if you ain't in the car, just like you said, let me out the car, though. You know what I'm saying? Let me out the car. He got out of the car. A lot of people look at him as fucked up for getting out of the car, but he wasn't in the situation. You know what I'm saying? Now, who's to say? Sometimes you got to step out of that situation. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not in the situation, you're not going to be in the situation.
Right.
Because I've lived in probably every hood in the city. You know what I'm saying? From the west to east, Westport Road, Newburgh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I lived everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Fern Creek, I lived everywhere. So, but I ain't never lived nowhere where I die for. You know what I'm saying? I didn't learn lessons in hoods. I didn't sit over there but I ain't living in nowhere where I want to die for.
And it's good you said that, right? Because, like, I remember, Kesha always say, this is my block.
Mm-hmm.
My block. This 32nd is my block. Alex, this is my block. Hancock or wherever, right? This is my block. But you don't even own the house that you live in.
Not a house. You don't own nothing.
Right?
Nothing.
So how can you say you ready to die on this, right? For this block, right? But as soon as you don't, or as soon as your parents find something else, you understand me? That's off that block because you don't own the house. Y'all renting.
Yeah.
So you keep doing enough foolishness, you get put out, right? And you gotta move all the way on the other side. That's still your block, right? So you got to understand, like, when you put the emphasis on stuff, when you saying this is what I'm about, this is what I think. No, and when you say stuff out your mouth, like, that's why I say, shut your mouth, be quick to listen and slow to speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes when you say things, you can't retract it.
Yeah.
Right? That's why I said don't write a check your ass can't cash.
Right.
Right. Excuse me, cousin. I know we got viewers and everything, but I mean, we just keeping it nutritious, right?
Right.
So all of this is what we like, how we talking right now. This is what's missing in the homes in our community right now, right? Mm-hmm. Even the dialogue, right? And that's why I asked for the men to step up, because we've been out here. Yeah. You understand me? Mm-hmm. So we have the experience in these streets. These kids ain't really doing nothing that we didn't do. Right? Nothing. But and a lot of us went and paid our debts to society or whatever and come back. Right? So when we talk to them, that's why I started a hotline. Right? Open up a hotline. Because as y'all can see, it's still fuck 12 for me. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not that guy who's trying to get out here and talk to the kids and find out, hey, what's going on, or who you have problems with. Okay, I'm gonna go call the police and tell Louisville Metro, hey, or call the hotline and say, hey, such and such. I'm not that dude.
Police is not the solution.
No, because in my eyes, and I could be wrong, right? I'm only human, right? So I can be wrong, but in my eyes, the Metro, all of that, they already have all the funding and all the resources, right? And the ability and the manpower, okay? To, if they was really protecting and serving the communities, right? And really was about community like they were supposed to be, or they, that's what they say they do, right? Then a lot of these problems wouldn't even exist.
Yeah. I mean,
okay, so I'm not trying to partner with the police. I'm not trying to be your buddy. You don't have to call my phone and ask me, hey, how can I help you? No, because you had your chance. Mm-hmm. So now this is a movement where we are taking back our community. Yeah. We are stepping up and taking back our community to whereas when we say we stopping the violence, we stopping the violent culture, not the gang culture. We're not trying to annihilate none of that. I'm allowing the people to be their people, be who you are. But I'm just saying, like, yo, respect life.
Right.
Okay, you can't respect life until you respect yourself and respect your comrade or your neighbor. Yeah. You understand me?
Living things.
So this is what we try and do. This is what Men Against Gun Violence is about. Like I was saying, like we touched on before we went live, before we started filming, the mental health in the community. You know what I mean? I feel like, I still got mental health issues that haven't been addressed. I haven't got help for it. Maybe I'll reach out and try to get some help. But it's a lot of things that go on in the community domestic violence, and I'm not equipped to touch on those issues.
Right.
Okay. But what I can do, it says, do the best that you can do when you can do it. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so if I can't do nothing else, right, I can do this. I can stand and try to protect some kids. Right. I can do that.
Yeah, because it's that what you care for, man.
I mean, I understand that sometimes people call and say, hey, my boyfriend kicked in my door and he's threatening us, and we called the police, and all they did was took a report and left, and we think he might come back and act a fool. Okay, I'm against gun violence. Right. But you might need to call them back on that. Okay, because
right.
Because like I mean, I'm just being honest though.
Yeah, that's the situation that people put themselves in.
Sometimes, because I don't know if you done ran off with his money. I don't know if you done keyed his car, bust his window out. Y'all have that going on between y'all, and I'm not equipped, and I'm not. When I was traveling, right? When I'm sitting in situations and I got to think for several people, not just myself. I got to think for a lot of people, right? One thing I used to say is, don't put yourself in a situation where your mama got to cry. Yeah. Right? Don't put me in a situation where my mama got to cry. Yeah. So don't bring something to me that doesn't have to exist, right? Mm-hmm. But make it a cause to where everybody's putting their life on the line, right? And turn out to be over some noodles, or some honey buns, some store, you know what I'm saying, some hooch, whatever. Yeah. Don't let it be over something like that. Don't put me in a situation where my mama, respect my mama's tears. I respect your mama's tears, right? Same thing out here. Men against gun violence came and I get calls on all type of different situations. And having the heart that I have, yeah, I'm empathetic, right? But right now, at this very moment, right, it's about these kids to me. Yeah. Because they not given the chance that they deserve. You know what I mean? A lot of parents is treating them as, like we talked about earlier, just they for checks. Mm-hmm. Let me get this income off of them. They're giving out extra $300 per child. Extra, I need all that. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get my hair done. I seen old girl, she got them lemonade braids. I'm gonna go get me some lemonade braids and get my nails and toes done. Right. Be for real. Like, invest in your children. Mm-hmm. But you can't even invest in your children if you ain't protecting their life. Yeah. You know, and most of the time those benefits go toward the mother. So the fathers feel like, I'm paying my child support, plus she getting money for them, they good. Mm-hmm. No, but that's still your genes. Yeah. That's still, they come from you, your loins. Right. Like, yo, step up and protect your children.
Mm-hmm. But that's the village mentality. The village mentality is lost now. You know, like, I remember being one of those kids playing out on the streets, you know, listening to whoever's mama who was out there, you know, whoever it was, you know, because that's going to be telling them right, you know. Mm-hmm. And as a village, this is like us as men. All we can do is be men. You know, we can do what we're going to do, just like I salute. What you talking about, I'm saying, with the village, I'm saying the females, because the females got to come together and the men got to come together. We're going to come together as a whole regardless, because where we going. But men's duties ain't women's duties. You know what I'm saying? And I can't, now I can say, you know, this is just my opinion. I can't blame it on the mamas. You know what I'm saying? I can blame it on them to a certain extent, mm-hmm. but they don't get out of the blame, you know, because when it comes down to it, I mean, you get, the system's the problem to me, you know, because the system is what's not it's what's really regulating the game. It's what's making the odds against it's been making the odds against us as a people. So
when they stop letting parents discipline their children, right? made it so easy for a child to say, hey, I'm abused at home because I got discipline, because I got spanking. All this time out, go stand in the corner, cut your come on. It might work for Timmy.
Would that raise
but would it work for Ray Ray?
Would stand in the corner and time out raise you?
No.
It wouldn't have raised me at all.
No.
I don't know. I know that there is consequences for my actions, you know, and my mama being a little bit 5'2", 5'3", you know, my father not being in the household. She raised 5 sons, and you would have thought she was 7'1", 360, because she handled us like we was nothing, and you know, and don't disrespect me. That's why I love the military minded that my mother raised me. You know, she taught me order. You know, and taught me respect, and taught me, you know, that's why, you know, I still to this day, you know, the utmost respect, you know, because
the applications of it.
Man, you've done something that I can't take from you. You made me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you made me. You took care of me even in your worst times. You know what I'm saying? You know, you took care of me and my brothers. You know, these parents nowadays, they got kids looking at them like, you ain't even doing that. Like, you sitting over here bullshitting with my money. I see you living off my money. I see you going out getting your hair done and doing all that off my money. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be for me.
That's the mentality, and their kids recognizing that.
Yeah, so then they already thinking in their head like, well, you know, I don't, you know, what's so funny? All right, let's talk about this. You know, I ain't gonna drop my name. You know what I'm saying? But I know of a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Close to me, we basically kin. You know what I'm saying? Through a child. The whole time she was growing up, that's what she was doing. Pushing, just trying to get benefits, doing all this, going child support, you know what I'm saying? Doing all that. Then boom, now she's a granny. What you think she's doing with her daughter? Pushing her, getting her for child support. You gonna get a house? I'm moving in with you. Just pushing her, just trying to, like, this is what you instill in your kids.
You lived off, now you're trying to live through them.
Like, where do you see yourself going with that? You know, and then it's like, how, that's you putting this in your kid's head. Like, you would never, like, I hate ceilings. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate ceilings. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who know anything about riding around in a drop top, you will hate a ceiling for the rest of your life. You know, you be like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's beautiful to ride top feelings, everything. You know what I'm saying? But once you put that ceiling on yourself and you get used to that, you won't even be like, you know. Like, I mean, I'm used to this. You'd be happy with a sunroof. You know what I'm saying? You'd be happy, oh, boom, it's panoramic, go way back, you know what I'm saying? But when you really look at it like, this is a ceiling. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't able to see everything. You ain't able to get where you really trying to go. And these youngins, they ceiling is only what? As far as what, a body? How many bodies they can catch before they go to jail? You know what I'm saying? How many people they can shoot from the next hood, or how much rep they can get for some motherfuckers who really don't give a fuck about them. Like, I was young, and I ripped my hood, and my OGs didn't give a fuck about me for real. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't care, you know. But I knew that at a young age. These youngins, I don't even know that.
You know, it's funny you say that, because I remember, like, when we lived in Kansas City, the homies would do shit. Well, I was a part of a step team, right? It's called the Marching Leopards, right? It was all Crip. All Crip. We marching parades every week. You understand me? Marching parades every week. All Crip. You understand me?
All Crip step team.
Man, and drums.
Right.
Drums, stepping, uniforms. They wanted me to be the mascot. You did wear a leopard suit, but I didn't. But the thing, they have an OG-YG night, right? Where the OGs would sit down with the little homies and take them somewhere. Take them to a Kansas City Royals game. Take them to you know, spend some time with the little homies. You understand me? These are things that need to be implemented in the city. Like, yo, we can't kill the culture. We can't kill the gang culture. Yeah. Right? But we gotta allow the kids to have an opportunity to see something different than what they already exposed to.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah.
Because our kids in the West End and our Newburgh and everything else, is all they seeing and exposed to is what? Gun violence and death.
Yeah. But then they
Every day I work at Norris Children's Hospital. I'm watching kids come in every day. Every day. Gunshot wound to the hand. Gunshot wound here. Hurt here. Trauma unit. Helicopters. Ambulances in abundance. Every day, bro.
I wouldn't even be alive if I came home with a gunshot wound at their age.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
right. But
Mom's gonna tear me up.
This is what I'm saying. Like, yo, at what point do the men say, yo, like, we gotta do something.
Yeah, because it's been babies getting killed. You know what I'm saying, like babies, like youngins. You know what I'm saying, 2-3-year-olds.
Right.
You know, it's been kids in elementary school getting caught with guns. You know, like what are you really doing in elementary school with a gun? You know, like
It's just you watch, and we was talking. My wife was saying something. She had talked to her mother. Her mother said, "You know what? Right now, guns need to be outlawed in the homes, right? Not so much protection. I'm talking about for kids, the Nerf guns, the toy guns, right? Because her nephew, 2 years old, and he'll pick up a play gun, bow, right? And then if you act like you shoot him back, guess what he do? He fall down and play dead. At 2 years old, you already understanding that this will kill, and if I get shot, I'm dying.
yeah. But that's been instilled even back in the days
Right.
with, you know, Bugs Bunny, and you know, it's just to a point to where, you know, that's what guns is made to do.
Desensitize you.
Mm-hmm.
They are desensitized to the fact that it's like, okay, it is what it is. It's everyday business. This is everyday business. Okay, boom, shot, boom, die.
Yeah.
Okay? But the hurt, right, that you feel when you lose a loved one, right? When you lose your homie, you lose your brother, sister, your daddy, your mama. Because women are getting killed right now just as much as men.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It used to be a time where women like didn't get hit like the men got hit.
Yeah.
Now it's it's everybody's free game.
But what's so crazy is, I mean, just knowing, you know, just being in the streets, you know, and that being in tune, you know, having to hurry in on it. The game's dirty. Every game.
Yeah.
The living game is dirty. Just to live is dirty nowadays. You know, it's like, of course, it usually if you're doing good and you know you do being a good person, you have to stay away from people. You know, because that's not what needs to be around. What it seems. You know, but if you're a snake, it's meant for you to slip out here. You know, it's meant for, that's what people promote.
Yeah and no, though, fam. And I'm going to say this right now. And the reason why I say that is because when you become an introvert, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, naturally, you don't want to be around a whole lot of people, man. Nah, man, they grimy. This is okay. Shicey, grimy. You know, it's 2 different levels to that. But, you know, I don't even want to be caught up in the matrix, right? But at the same token, when they said it takes a village to raise a child, right? Like how we just talked a minute ago, and it was like, hey, I remember when it didn't have to be my mom or daddy to check me. It could be Miss Alberta down the block, right? Miss Wanda, Miss Emma now, right? Miss Margie, okay? And your parents was cool with that. You understand me?
Yeah.
Because they caught you doing something you ain't had no business doing. So yeah, I whooped his ass and sent him home.
Mm-hmm.
You might get your ass whooped again, right? When you get home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nobody's taking the initiative to say, hey, they see it, to say, hey, chill out.
Right.
Hey, youngster, hey, ain't such a they don't even know who their neighbors are.
Nah.
Or who their parents are.
Nah.
They don't even know who their kids' friends are.
Yeah, they don't know.
To even say, hold on, ain't you such and such son?
Mm-hmm.
But you can correct them nowadays without the parent running up on you, want to fight you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tell them they did something wrong.
That's the village.
Yeah.
Like,
So that's why it's so vital. Now, like I said, on the hotline, they call the hotline, they got some real situation where they feel where kids is feeling like, hey, I got to beat somebody's threatening my, you know what I'm saying, whatever, shoot me or whatever. That's why the hotline, that's why we established the hotline. So they can, we'll come talk to you. Like how we sitting down right now.
mm-hmm.
We'll come sit down and talk to you, your parents. Then we'll go sit down and talk to them, their parents. Then we're going to have a powwow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we can show y'all that the issue is not the cause. An issue can be what? Resolved.
Easily.
So let's resolve the issue before we have to go out and pick out some caskets.
Right.
And hope that you got some life insurance. Mm-hmm. So you don't add more burden to the situation. Yeah. Because a lot of these kids I heard is getting killed don't have insurance. You know, you got to keep having all type of fundraisers and benefits to bury you. You know, like it's that within itself is adding more stress and trauma. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then it goes back to the other side and then back again. Next thing you know, your whole family, your whole lineage,
it's gone.
It's being erased. Yeah. Your whole lineage, like everything, all our ancestors and went through slavery and survived that shit, so we can be here, right? And now we here, we just gonna go and kill ourselves off. Right. So them ass whoopings they took were nothing. No, that's for nothing.
That's what it seems.
A lot of these kids nowadays don't respect their elders. What do you say about that?
You know, it's a thing called pulling somebody's coat, right? So even though they don't show the respect, sometimes you gotta demand that they show their respect, right? You have to pull them to do it. Like, hey, when you see the cats coming in, it's in a store, and he got his pants sagging all the way down, right? It's an old lady right here, right? Hey, fam. Hey, young man, come here for a second. Hey, just out of respect. I'm not, coaching on nothing wrong. But old lady, right here, pull your pants up a little bit. You know what I mean? Start putting that bug in their ear. That's a seed. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He might pull them up right now. I'm like, all right, just on GP, right? All right, I got you, OG. Pull them up. Finish handling business. But you just planted that seed. So it takes time for a seed to grow. You know what I mean? So he might see somebody, because it's under his conscious now, though, right? He might see somebody pollinating, right? And as he pulls somebody up, now that seed in him is growing. You know what I mean? So now you don't see him without wearing a belt. Right. You don't see him without his pants up. You know, even if you out at a family cookout or you just at the park and you just chopping with the homies and they doing something. Just we talk about the minor stuff right now, right? Got his pants sack, okay. Boom, chest out, right? The first thing he's gonna have to do before he can swing back is do what? Pull his pants up. Mm-hmm. Right? So then you tell him. You see what you had to do? You see I just took off in your chest plate? How was I able to get in your chest plate? Right. Because before you can even defend yourself, you had to fix your situation. Right? Now he can be mindful every time. OG was right. I used to when sagging first came to start coming back in the gap, man, you couldn't tell me sagging. Man, my dicky sagging. Yeah, creased to death, sagging. Right? OG put me on. Bop, bop, bop. Yeah, I might throw one to just make some distance, right? But I still had to regroup, right? I had to get my situation right. Same thing. So in essence, when you have those kids that are so disrespectful, it takes for somebody that has some sense and ain't got no bitch in their heart. You understand me? To respectfully address the situation, right?
Yeah.
Because you gotta understand, I give respect because I demand my respect back.
Wow.
Right? I'm not gonna allow nobody to disrespect me. Okay? Wherever you disrespect me at, that's where I'm gonna check you at.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? But understand, you look like a damn fool if I'm coming to you, I'm talking to you and dealing with you respectfully as a man. And I'm humble and respectful. So if you turn hate or turn disrespect toward me, for one, you make yourself look like a fool. For two, when I check this disrespect, then you entitled to get everything you ask for.
Yeah. Because a whole lot of disrespect is going on with the kids and their parents.
Yeah.
With some of the shit that was going on, like, that you would hear mothers and elders, like, I wish you would do that. And they doing it blatantly in front of them.
Yeah.
Like, and just, what? You know what I'm saying?
I was watching Ozark last night. And I'm at the series where the episode where the son is starting to feel itself. Mm-hmm. Okay, you familiar with Ozark?
Yeah. That's
okay.
My
So when the son start getting his computers and everything he trying to set up,
they're working with other people.
Right, that part, right. So the mother, she's like, hold on, you ain't gonna be in my house doing this. I'm cut the power off. Mm-hmm. Put a lock on it, right? So he said, okay, I'm gonna take this and go over such and such house. I heard them with the other people, and I'm set up shop over there, right? And I'm sitting back and I'm watching it. I'm like, that don't work like that in real life. Mm-hmm. Because for one, you're 14 years old, right? Regardless of what you see going on and you think you understand, you don't know because you're still a child. Okay, even though you old enough to have an opinion at this point, right? But you ain't old enough to make no adult decisions, right? Because you haven't lived long enough to understand what comes with everything, right? So even though the situation might be in a messed up situation, I have to do as an adult make the best decisions for my family. You understand me? So if that means I have to check your ass, because for one, I don't care about you buying it with your own money. That's mine now. Because ultimately you bought all this with money you stole from me, right? So that's still mine.
They don't understand. Like I be preaching it all day. These kids, like I don't think that these mothers and stuff understand. If you don't check these kids, your house is gonna be the house that shot up. You gonna be the mama that's not crying. You gonna be the mama that then got smoked because they can't reach your son.
My nephew locked up right now. Right? My brother's son. He locked up right now. Before all this happened, when he got caught up, I had brought him to Texas to come stay with me, right? When I was in Texas. And he's smart. A student. Right? But he wants to hang with the bad kids, right? Or the kids, I'm not gonna say bad kids, the kids is always in trouble, always into something, right? So I remember one time he come to me, he said, can I spend the night at such and such house? I said, where such and such live at? I don't know. Well, I haven't never met such and such. Oh, his name is such and such, and I said, listen, I haven't never met such and such parents, right? And I told him, I said, have their parents call me, right? Have their parents call me, let me talk to them. Let's meet them, and then we'll address it, we'll address it. Okay, I don't have a problem with you hanging out and seeing your friends and spending time with your friends and spending the night, whatever. But I need to know where you going and who's gonna be watching over you while you out, right? Parents now ain't doing that. Parents, I'm going to kids say I'm going over such and such house. Let Johnny live way on Indiana somewhere, You don't know where they at. You don't know how to get in touch with their parents.
Like, I need to know who you answering to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If something happens, I need to know who I'm going to call. I need to know who, you know what I'm saying?
Anything. I need to know who's responsible for you while you're away from me. I need to make sure that they're going to have your best interest when you out of my sight. I need to know they're looking out for your best interest whatever you're doing during the time they have you and they, you know what I'm saying, and they care. And parents don't even think like that a lot of times nowadays. They just ready to get the fuck on.
Get my time. Let's get away.
That's what I'm gonna call school.
Right.
I'm gonna call this cat up, man, because I've been trying to see him. I've been trying to see her. That's how they doing it. They just ready to get rid of me. I need a break. Girl, where you going? I'm going. You know where we going tonight.
You can tell my mom about no break. A break from what? This is my life.
This is once you lay down and have them. This is your life.
This is my life.
Your responsibility.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even I don't care. Even my mama was an addict for years. You know what I mean? And even and all the stuff that she did wrong, she still cooked. She kept the crib tight. The crib was laid. She gonna clean the house. She gonna make sure the food is on the table, and she gonna still, regardless of what she did wrong, she still gonna check me and my brothers for the shit that we was doing.
Yeah,
you understand me? Like they don't have it, and these kids, they got big guns. They got a lot of guns, and they. I mean, the truth of the reality of it, crack babies grew up. When crack hit, a lot of babies was born. They didn't grow up and they didn't have kids. And their parents are scared to even say something to them. I remember we literally, Johnny just cussed his mom out. Fuck you, Sarah. You're like, oh my God. Did that little kid just cuss his mother out? You know what I mean? But now you see it in our community too. Little girls is thinking that at 13, 14 years old, they cussing their mamas out. Little dudes is just so smooth and got so much swag to them now. They feel like they can finesse any situation until you get yourself into some shit, right? What bullets is flying. And you sitting down, ain't no more JCYC, but you sitting in somebody's county jail, tried as an adult, and then while you sitting here and you trying to figure out why you're a public defender, right? Because y'all ain't got no money for real, we all, So while your public defender is not answering your phone calls, is not coming to visit you, it's not telling you what your defense plan is, right? Now you sitting back thinking like, damn. That shit wasn't even worth it. Yeah. I ain't even get nothing out of that. Or if I did get something out of it, man, like, it still wasn't worth it.
That's what, that's on another topic they said something about. What else happened to JCYC? These youngins is doing big boy time.
Yeah.
At YCA, you know what I'm saying? You're a youngin'. You gotta say these public defenders don't get paid to come see you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could, when the YC was there, you could be grown. You got a public defender, he gonna be booked to where he gonna be in court. He gonna be doing this.
He got 400 clients.
Yeah, he got all this. So to go all the way wherever they done put you at, and you a Julie.
And they're not even counting. See, they're not even taking and acknowledging the fact. Okay, I got a public defender, and he listen. It's people that's still locked up that's already past this stage. It's in the penitentiary that he's still working on their case, their appeals, and so on and so forth. So the only thing he gonna do is do what? Represent you. I'm just here while we in court. When it comes that time, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'll stand. I'm here for such and such. Yeah, I'm here for Lil Ray Ray. And well, he said he's gonna take his plea, y'all. You know, so that's the whole thing. Get you to plead out. But the thing is, if the fathers, because I keep putting emphasis on the fathers, right? Or the men in the family will step up, right? That's why I say men against gun violence, right? And I keep coming back to this, right, for a reason. It's time for the men to step up and start building with these kids, right? Because everybody already knows when kids get too unruly, what's the first thing the mama say? I'm going to tell your daddy. Right? Or your stepdaddy. You know, your father figure.
Yeah, because it takes some
right?
men. It takes some men.
I'm going to tell your granddaddy, your pawpaw. Somebody. That when they mention that man, boom. They chill out. Why? Because that's nature. That's nature. You raise dogs, right? You breed dogs. Them puppies know who the parents are. And they can play, they let them play and do wrestle and all this stuff, play rough and biting. Well, they start messing up too much with it. Right?
Ain't nothing that going on there.
All it takes is for the parents to step up and be parents. For the men to step up and be men. Okay?
I'd rather hurt you before the world hurts you. Because when the world hurts you, ain't no coming back for it.
That part.
Ain't no coming back from that.
My mom used to say, don't put yourself in, she said, you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get yourself in a situation I ain't going to get you out of. Right? Get caught up on a bullshit, false case, right? Came visit. My stepfather came, made sure I had everything I needed. He said, I'm going to be here for you on this one. You ever get locked up again? I'm a JCYC. He said, you ever get locked up again? Don't call me. Don't ask me to come visit you. Don't ask me to send you no pictures, no money, no nothing. Because you're living it right now. You see what it's about. You know what it's about. Right? Yes, sir. Everybody else, they didn't have that strict love, right? Now, I say everybody else, didn't nobody like nobody, parents didn't. No. But they was focused about being in JCYC, having the newest shoes that just came out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Trying to have social media.
Right, way before social media.
Yeah, before social media, people was trying to, look good socially. Yeah. So now with social media, that's how people's trying to do is look good socially. Trying to do this socially, but that's why it's getting worse. Because people's getting, if you got beat up in school, people say you got beat up. Yeah. But you might get beat up for talking about me getting beat up. You know what I'm saying? That's how it used to go. Yeah. But now, shoot, I can pull up this footage of Lil Ray Ray getting beat to death. You know what I'm saying? Like
now it's a pride issue.
Yeah. You showed them the video, it's on the internet, bro. Like, what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? It's a fight video. That's what I do is watch fight videos. You know? So, like, you gotta be mad because it was you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be mad at that. Yeah. But it's just to a point about exposing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the social media exposes these youngins to, like, I got friends. Man, you could be, back in the, what you want to call it? the Chicago era days. You know what I'm saying? Like Chicago's still popping in the music scene, but back when Chicago started popping.
Do or Die and all that.
Nah, not even that. Nah, I'm talking about with these youngins.
Oh, okay.
With the sliding and
Juking.
man. Once everybody wanted to catch bodies, you know, they start seeing, you know, them rappers up there catching bodies, getting locked up. You could follow the trail by watching the news, you know, and I ain't the smartest, but I don't want you to be able to follow my trail by watching the news, you know what I'm saying? But seeing what's going on with stuff. But that's what they seeing and that's what they promote. You know, they happy to see people into it catching bodies. You know, like Biggie and Pac. I mean, that beef was, you know, but you didn't see too much of nothing, you know, about anything. You wouldn't see no videos or see them arguing with each other or none of that because it's not promoted. Now everything's so easily promoted to where something positive right now could be going on. I don't get too many likes, too many views, too many shares, but let something negative come out. Let some bullshit come out. Boom, everybody's gonna want to share it. Everybody's gonna want to say something about it, you know what I'm saying? And that's the main problem with it now. Like, the positivity is not what's getting spread.
And see, that's another thing. Like, people say or assume that men against gun violence is just this, right? And they're just gonna be at the bus stops. Well, guess what? It's 3 other organizations under Men Against Gun Violence, right? You have D. Garrett with X-Hate. Okay. You have LeBron with 10 Good Men. Okay, who also owns 400 Studios, which has, you know, studios for everything. Music studio. You want to learn how to be an engineer, and you want to go just make you an album. You want to learn how to do this stuff. And that's available. You have arts and Jabril with arts and activism. Okay. And I want to clarify something too, because since we're on this platform right now, because there's so much stuff, it's like a pink elephant in the room, right? When I speak on Jabril with arts and activism, because him being a Hebrew Israelite, and his affiliation, his individual affiliation with the Lions of Judah, and you know, recently we just had a shooting at Craig Greenberg's office, and young man allegedly went in there shooting and was detained, right? Everybody said, well, it was a lot of discussions, okay, about his social media pages, where he had posted things, flyers of from the Lions of Judah, right, and associated that with Jabril, with arts and activism, that with 10 Good Men, that with Men Against Gun Violence. You know what I'm saying?
Just tag together.
Power buttons. Jabril in no way was responsible for the actions that took place that day. So that's that's definitely no reflection of Men Against Gun Violence. I just want to throw that out there. You know, I personally feel that if there is a mental health situation, status, or crisis that happened within that situation, not only do the Black community or the community in general need to be supportive of that individual getting mental health treatment, but these kids who's witnessed trauma out here in the communities, who witnessed their friends get killed, who have had their peers being killed or shot, who themselves have been shot, and even the ones who are responsible for the murders of the 188 people who died last year and the 24 plus that's died this year. I think that as a community, as a city, we need to get behind them and get them some mental health help.
Yeah, because even thinking about speaking on the situation, I know a lot of people might be tuning in with the way that just gun violence. Period. You usually don't go and try to kill nobody for no reason. You don't even have a gun trying to kill nobody for no reason. And then usually, with the gun violence, it's usually somebody that had a argument or some type of situation together to where they would want to, one of the party might want to kill the other one,
Right.
So I know they said dude, run up his little place position, but what would make you think that, why was he in that situation to where he's there with a gun to kill, supposed to be, trying to be elected mayor. Me personally, with knowing what I know, you're only going to be around people that you deal with, and for somebody to want to kill somebody, you had to at least be in there, just something had to go on or whatever, Me personally, I think, it's too much going on.
I can't speculate because I'm not the individual or I'm not one of the other victims.
Right.
Okay. And I don't know any of the dealings between or their relations. Okay. So I can't speculate on the situation. All I could do is sit back and see what comes out.
Like same here,
what don't come out in the wash, what comes out in the rinse.
Exactly.
So,
but some shit just ain't random, and that's the way I think of it. Like the way that they try to keep us blind is by just saying it should be random.
But I will say this, and I'm gonna look at the camera for this, right? Because I'm so serious about this. Rand Paul, all these politicians who's currently seated, even Fisher and everybody has made statements about, we need to change the way the bond is set up. We need to change policy and everything because it's a cry. It's a shame basically that this individual was able to be bonded out of jail within 48 hours. They put emphasis on the 48 hours and he was back on the streets. Well, okay, this is a situation where a man is accused of going in and shooting somewhere, and I don't condone none of the actions on that. But I will say this: there is evidence and proof that Breonna Taylor's killers, okay, the officers that went in there and wrongfully killed Breonna Taylor, okay, and it's been years since now, and not one of those officers has been arrested. Not one of those, the neighbor's walls has more rights than Breonna Taylor's life. Okay, so I didn't see them going to bat for Breonna. I didn't see them going to bat when little Kirk got shot at Al-Kantiki years and years ago. It's just so much going on, and our politicians are taking opportunities to further throw jabs at protesters, activists, the black community, and using this situation to throw the shots at us and at them, but not taking no responsibility for their lack of action when it came to white officers killing a black EMT who was later proven not to be involved in no drugs, no criminal activity whatsoever. And her life is gone forever. So I personally feel that before you can point the finger at one situation, I understand there's 3 more pointing back at you. And shame on Rand Paul, shame on Mitch McConnell, shame on Greg Fisher. Because just as supportive as you are trying to find out and seek justice on this situation, you should have been fighting just as hard, if not harder, to bring justice to Breonna Taylor. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
Yeah, I feel you, because it seems like everybody has to say so, with what's going on now. But back then, it was nothing, because all the protesting, plenty of people was getting bonded out, and that's where I met you at. I met you when you was down there, over a year straight, down there, protesting,
on crutches, in a wheelchair, on crutches.
Every day, man, every day. Not to get off the topic, but we was down there, you know what I'm saying? And I know for a fact that was a staple on my life, and I can feel how, people back in be telling me about, back what was going on back in the day, it changed their life. It made them feel. And I wish everybody could have got to feel what we got to feel down there,
But that's because a lot of people didn't stay to the end.
Yeah.
They didn't have that going, their staying power, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the lessons, at first it was the excitement, right? But when you stayed down there and got that staying power and stayed all the way to the end, right? It was other stuff going on. And people was growing and, now the growth is coming.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you couldn't see it until the end when all the hype was gone. Mm-hmm. When all the cameras was gone.
When people stood that really had a point.
Yeah, when you stand out here really fighting for it, still out here fighting for it when it's cold, still fighting for it when you're on crutches and in a wheelchair,
it's raining
still out here fighting when you really work and live 1,700 miles away. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But staying, it makes sure it stays peaceful, but it stays active at the same time.
Yeah, that's where a lot of people don't understand. Like, unless you was in there, you really wouldn't know what was going on. Like, even just trying to keep us together. It was a fight just keeping us together. You know what I'm saying? Like, people wouldn't understand that. And that drew a lot of people away, too. Right. But that's where it comes where you really got to care. Like, you really got to be a strong motherfucker to be like, look, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's where you come and what you talking about. We got to step up like we got to. That's the main reason that I was down there. I'm going down there by myself. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going down there with nobody because of nobody and none of that. I'm going down there by myself, and with the change that I can do, or regardless, I could have went down there with a whole bunch of motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, and been all that, but it wouldn't have shown what a nigga. Sometimes you gotta sit down and put your own hands in the dirt. Right. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about.
Do you remember? I had made a post. I had posted a picture of me you took, right? We hit up the camera.
Right? Yeah, right there. Yeah.
And that was in the there's a group I was in, Men Who Wear Hats. Remember that? And I put on there, what the homie, and it was a fashion statement, right? And first of all, the fist killer something, right? Appreciate. I salute you on that. But a lot of I remember when I posted that, people was like, "See, that's what's wrong with this," and people has commented because of not knowing us, neither one of us, right?
Right.
But they commented off the post because where we come from,
right,
and what we represent,
right?
Okay, and it was people that later commented from all across the nation, right? Without having to say a word to defend us, right? Because even though we didn't need no defense,
right?
Because it's self-explanatory. But it was a thing where even in that post, what people understood, the ones that were realist upon themselves, with themselves, right? Because they say you can't keep it real with nobody else until you keep it real with yourself, right? So the ones that keep it real with themselves, they loved it. Not just because we looked good doing what we was doing, but the fact that even right here, it's 2 different generations.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So to see us jigging, and then you still reaching, and we both still reaching and pulling for these other generations, right? Not so much to be associated or affiliated with what we come from, what we stand on, but reaching for them to do right.
Right. Yeah.
And be righteous.
Even though I know we've been through our own things in life, you know what I'm saying? We all done had our own struggles, testimonies, but yeah, we still reaching for them. We still trying to help them. You know what I'm saying? When they could be our demise, they could be our destruction. It's reaching,
Right.
and it takes people like us to sit around and be like, I die reaching.
Do you think the Underground Railroad would have been so successful had Harriet Tubman not gone back?
It wouldn't have been a railroad.
Do you think everything would have happened had she not gone back, reached back for the people?
That's why it's called a railroad. Wouldn't have been trained.
And that's my sentiments right now. When we've gone through what we've gone through in life, right? As men. And we survived it. We still here. We still breathing. We still got all our faculties, right? And we still functioning. It's our responsibility to reach back, especially when we seeing those who are blinded by what's going on, that they don't really know which direction to move in, to even get away from the foolishness of which they're surrounded by, to pull themselves up out of it. So you gotta reach back. That's our responsibility.
Yeah, then because the youngest is way more blind. They way more blind. It's directed for them not to see. Because everything ain't gonna be. You can, if you do your real research, you can find out damn near everything on the internet. But before you find that, the bullshit's gonna pop up first. What they want you to see and this and that. And then like newspapers. I remember being young reading the newspaper. A lot of things that I don't even feel like I even cared about. But just the insight on what's going on, and seeing what's getting put in the paper, because it was a big thing to get put in the paper back then. You know what I'm saying? But now, just anybody can go viral.
It's still a good thing. It's still, not a good thing. It's still a big thing. Yeah. But guess what's glorified more so, especially in the black community, than anything? The obituary.
Yeah.
The obituary.
Yeah.
You got people buying newspaper just to cut out the obituary.
That's sick.
Or the local section to see what the newspaper is saying about who got killed.
Yeah. And you looking at obituaries now, it's like the ages. The ages just went crazy down, and without this
11, 15, 16, 17, 21, 24.
The youngest ain't dying from COVID in the hood.
No.
They not dying from COVID in the hood. They not dying from COVID around here.
Right.
You know anybody who died from COVID? Young?
And that's what I said at the second press conference, right? I said, they can Google it, but I said, when it comes to COVID, we can't do nothing except for get vaccinated.
Right.
But when it comes to these murders, to these senseless killings, to these kids dying, to everything that's going on right now in our community, it's something we can do about that. And it's something that is our responsibility to do something.
Yeah.
or else we're not gonna have it. They already starting the gentrification in the West End, out of Newburgh.
Yeah, I say it's always been behind the government, with the metro. So just trying to play catch up on, most people in downtown Louisville, whatever, the West End, down here, they don't figure the city is outside of the Watterson Expressway too far. So that's the only up that they have to look for. They don't want to go nowhere farther. They don't want to be far away from, and I can fully understand that, but they not gonna make that change for us. The way our city is, like, they still gonna keep the worst police in the West End and all that. They still gonna have the stupid little task forces to do the most, which the government, to me, the government's making the kids worse. You know what I'm saying? They directing it towards.
It's a Commonwealth state.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a Commonwealth state. So it's all about government. Within itself. Don't have no money. All the money that come in comes from the government.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all the laws, because it's a Commonwealth state, that means you can make and break your own laws. I remember years ago, they had passed a law for the guys in prison and made it to where they could get credit for being incarcerated once they was out.
Yeah, MRS.
The street time credit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but the thing was, what cats was doing was getting out, staying out until their minimum expiration date, right? Instead of having to be on paper an additional 5, 10 more years to reach my maximum expiration. Because they want you, if you're on street, to go to your maximum expiration date, right? So guys was going to their minimum expiration date and catching bogus cases just so they can get in custody and then serving out before they even see the judge, right? So they got to get cut out anyway, right? So when they seen that they wasn't working for them, where they couldn't get them extra years out of you, right? For being on paper, because Kess is like, okay, ain't no sense in me being on paper and additional 5 years. I can catch a little charge, go to the county jail, and get released. And all the time got to count, right? So what they do is Commonwealth State. They can break their own laws. So when they seen it wasn't working in their favor, they changed it. You know what I'm saying? Change it again. You know what I mean? And that's just, I remember when cats in prison used to get home packages and had street clothes and stuff like that. But because they needed money from the federal system, from the government, to keep up their shenanigans, now they had to make it like federal prison. So everybody went to the khakis and the green. So now a state picture look like a federal picture. You don't know what I mean? State feds. You know what I mean? They had to identify, they had to uniform their stuff according to their plan. And that's the same thing going on in the neighborhoods. Like, too much government, right? Like you were saying, too much government destroys your rights. It kills them. It kills what your freedoms are. It kills your freedoms.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, I know we can sit here and, we can talk all day, you know what I'm saying? All day, every day. But,
well, you got my number. You can hit me on the head.
Right. If any other people want to, if they want to reach out to you, how would they get in contact with you?
You can send me an email at menagainstgunviolence .ky@gmail.com. Or you can call me. My cell number is 361-225-6607.
Yeah, appreciate y'all tuning in. Surely appreciate you for being able to talk. Appreciate everything that you're doing, you know what I'm saying? Of course, I'll be getting with you so we can be getting us doing our own work, But I thank y'all for tuning in, take it to the streets. Until next time.
Peace.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. This a wreck, ain't baby.